Alright, Theoreticus Heresy, episode 23. I have been greatly enjoying this series. It's inspiring me to put together one of my own as far as what I think would happen, where certain things in the lore changed. I'm not going to really say much. Guys are probably watching this on a playlist, and I appreciate that. I update this playlist every chance I get. I'm going to be watching quite a few of these today, I hope. And, yeah, here we go.
The Alpha Legion spies ran as fast as they could, desperate to reach the ship's power core. They had discovered that the Raven Guard were traitors, and, per their Primarch's orders, hurried to overload the core and destroy the ship. An alarm began to sound throughout the ship, and Raven Guard Astartes frantically began to search for the spies. Although given that the Alpha Legion spies were clad in the colours and heraldry of the Raven Guard, this would not be an easy task. The Dark Angel's flagship, the Invincible Reason, was placed on high alert. If there were spies on the Raven Guard ships, then surely they would be on the vessels of the Dark Angels as well. Captain Stenius ordered the engineering deck to be put on lockdown, and for the gun servitors on board to be activated. Rabute Gilliman debated informing the War Master, Rogel Dawn, but decided against it. Dawn would be busy commanding the forces on the planet. He did not need this distraction. Gilliman ordered his forces to continue the battle as normal, to focus most of their fire on the Emperor's children, Night Lords, Salamanders, and especially the Alpha Legion. Fulgrim and Ferrus Manus locked their weapons, parrying blow after blow as Fulgrim hacked at the Iron Hand's Primarch like a feral beast. Ferrus fought only to defend himself against the frenzied blows, never taking advantage of any openings Fulgrim presented. He didn't want to kill Fulgrim, but it was looking like his hand will be forced. Fulgrim managed to knock Ferrus Manus to the floor and leapt on top of him, bringing his flame-wreathed blade down to his brother's throat. Ferrus Manus gripped the blade with both hands, letting his hammer, Forgebreaker, fall onto the rocks below them with a metallic clatter. Tears streamed down Fulgrim's face as he lamented what he was forced to do, pushing the blade with all of his might. Ferrus could feel the heat of the blade against his neck, and in his desperation brought one hand up to Fulgrim's face, clasping his fingers around it. He whispered the last words that Fulgrim would ever hear. "I'm sorry." With that, Ferrus Manus clenched his metallic hand into a fist of iron, crushing Fulgrim's skull with a sick, wet crack of splintering bone and bloody, pulping meat. Fulgrim's body twitched and spasmed before going limp and lifeless. Ferrus Manus rolled the corpse off of him and rose to his knees. He looked down at his blood-slicked hand, and for the first time, realized the horror of what he had done. But he had no time to weep. The Phoenix Guard of the Emperor's children fast approached, baying for blood and screaming for vengeance. Ferrus Manus picked up Forgebreaker in one hand and Fireblade in the other, and with the rest of the Iron Hand's Legion behind him, charged into the fray. Meanwhile, on Terra, the Emperor felt a great pain deep within his soul. He felt that another one of his sons had been killed. Their souls no longer felt by his psychic touch. The Emperor swore an oath that day, that when Rogel Dawn's insurrection had been quashed, he would make sure that history would never remember the names of those who turned from his light.
Okay. I have an issue with this. Fulgrim was a better fighter than Ferrus Manus. In every respect, he was better. I guess you could say that emotionality had something to play with it, but under the same token, in both instances, it's kind of an iffy thing for me because I guess you could say that Fulgrim's anger got the best of him, but I just don't see that. But then again, moving right along, episode 23, incoming episode 24, and here we go.
The battle for Istvan V raged. Brother fought against brother, Astartes against Astartes, and Primarch against Primarch. Upon the field of battle, Conrad Kurz, Primarch of the Night Lord's Legion, tore through the ranks of the traitors with his lightning claws, laughing like a maniac at the carnage he wrought as he waded through the battle alongside his bodyguards, the Atramentars. During a brief moment of lucidity, he locked eyes with the arch-traitor himself, War Master Rogel Dawn, who was mowing down loyalists left and right with his massive chainsword, Storm's Teeth, along with his huskarls. Kurz bellowed out a challenge to Dawn, but Dawn smirked and wagged his finger, denying him such an opportunity.
Okay, so Magnus is dead, the Khan is dead, and Fulgrim is dead.
A piercing scream came from above as Sanguinius swooped down, slashing with the blade in Carmine. Sanguinius, like Kurz, was laughing like a maniacal idiot, giddy at the pleasure that battle brought. Kurz leapt upon the winged Primarch as he came in for another run, grabbing hold of his armor, and began to stab him repeatedly with his claws. Sanguinius let out a cry, not one of pain or anguish, but one that sounded of purest ecstasy, as if he was enjoying the pain being inflicted in some perverse way. The angel...
Alright, Conrad and Sanguinius as a follower of Slaanesh is just not a good combo for anybody involved.
Pleasure struck back with repeated punches to the face, causing Kurz to tumble and plummet to the ground with a hard crunch, kicking up an immense cloud of debris. As Sanguinius landed to inspect his handiwork, the Lord of Night pounced from the dust, slashing wildly with his serrated claws, tearing up the angel's once beautiful wings, the once pristine and pure white, now stained a deep crimson. Sanguinius wailed in pleasurable pain as Kurz leapt upon him once more, pinning the angel to the dirt and raining blow after blow upon him, tearing his once beautiful face open with a series of deep cuts, the steaming blood streaming down his face like a river. Out of the corner of his eye, Sanguinius spotted the approaching Vulcan, who watched his brothers in sheer horror as they tried to kill one another. Conrad Kurz was laughing like a man possessed, enjoying the pain he was inflicting. Sanguinius smiled slightly and called out to his brother. "Vulcan," he cried, "help me." Vulcan was stunned. His worldview was being called into question. Sanguinius was supposedly a traitor, but Kurz was being nothing more than a sadistic beast. Torture was not the way of a noble warrior. What Kurz was doing was wrong, but Sanguinius had betrayed their father. What was right now? What was wrong? Could he truly remain loyal to the Emperor if those loyal to him were capable of such cruelty? And not only that, but take pleasure from it? Could he follow orders even if they were to do something so wrong? He was always a loyal son who loved his father and his brothers. He detested the sight of his brothers, his family, killing one another. Vulcan stood at a crossroads. "Help me, Vulcan. Please, I'm your brother," Sanguinius cried once more, the voice echoing in Vulcan's mind. Vulcan marched closer, gripped his massive hammer, Dawnbringer, in both hands, and swung with all of his might. With a crack the sound of thunder, Kurz was hurled from Sanguinius and knocked unconscious. Vulcan approached Sanguinius and offered him his hand, helping him to his feet. Sanguinius smiled an almost seductive grin and nodded. Vulcan gave the order, and the salamanders turned on their comrades, gunning down many who were unaware. The Night Lords, Alpha Legion, and Emperor's children were forced back to their own lines. But here, they could at least find respite and reinforcement at the hands of the Raven Guard and Dark Angels. Couldn't they?
Alright, so people were annoyed about Fulgrim's turn in the actual storyline. Vulcan turned way easier. I'm still enjoying it. It's still a little bit of theory craft, but at the same time, a lot about the Primarchs have to change in order to make this work. That's the only thing I have with it. In any case, yeah. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I will catch you guys next time. I'm going to be putting the description, of course, in the description down below, as well as my own. Yada, yada, yada. English is not my forte today. I have decided who I'm going to be doing for the next 5-minute lore. I'll be starting on that script, I think, tonight. I'm going to have a couple more of these episodes of Theoreticus Heresy out as well. And I will see you guys when I start episode 25. See you guys soon.